Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen, back to the DeGents pod. I'm here with my co-host, Big Rich.
Fuski, how are we today? You're doing good?
Fantastic, fantastic. Yes, sir.
Yes,
We are
sir.
back. We are into week 10 of the NFL.
Don't
I mean,
I think we gotta stop announcing what week it is because it's getting to the point where I'm just getting fucking depressed. Like I'm happy we
I
have
know,
football this
RT.
weekend, but it's like damn, like we are we are in the latter half. We are getting to the end, and I don't know what I'm gonna do without football. I say this every year. Like we get into March and April. We have March Madness and stuff, but we get into May, and it's like, oh, I hate the NBA. I like NHL playoffs, but man, football is life. I think I've come to realize football is life.
Yeah, it's king. And I really only do it to keep track for myself, too, especially when I'm titling the videos
Yeah,
and shit. But we
yeah. I mean,
we got
yeah,
a
we
long
have to.
way we got a long way to go here. I mean, 8 weeks in the NFL is a long way to go, especially with the way things are shaping out.
Yeah, and then
Speaking,
playoffs.
yeah, oh yeah, we got plenty of time, but it will go by fast. So
Yeah,
cherish it while you can. Speaking of, last week I had a great week in college. 7-1. Only miss being Georgia on the -16 that I gave out on the show. The line came down to 14 and a half at kickoff. My dumbass didn't buy the hook, and they won by 14. So could have been a push, but I'll take the L there. And then I went 3-2-1 in the NFL. Pretty good. Brings my combined record to 29, 25, and 5 in the NFL and 40, 43 and 3 in college football. So I made a big comeback in college football there, almost back at 500. How'd you do?
I went 2-3 in college football. Um, I had, which is not obviously not great. And then with I had a very cold streak, like I've said on the pod recent weeks here. Very cold streak. Record is 46, 59, and 2. Not where I want to be. Not even remotely close to where it was last year. I think that number was probably. I think that was actually flipped at this point.
Yeah,
Last year,
definitely. You did really good in college last year. That's
I
that's
was
true.
I was crushing college last year, so might have to start looking into a couple different trends. Because the one that I kind of base a lot of my picks on hasn't really been hitting. NFL, I went 3-0-1 this weekend, and
Nice.
I put all those plays into a parlay for the first time this year, and it was the one time I swept the board. I didn't sweep the board on the picks. I was Titans -3, which pushed, but in the parlay I put them money line. So um, it was good to hit something of some kind of substantial value after
Yeah, fuck yeah.
a couple of weeks. So no, it was good. NFL was definitely good. That puts my record to 30, 34, and 2. So not great at all by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. But we move forward. I'm confident in all my picks still. It's just not been the year so far. But you got what 8 weeks left in NFL, 3-4 weeks of college, plus bowl games, plus NFL playoff games. So yeah, my goal is to shrink the deficit as of right now. So
Yeah,
that's the goal. Let's do it.
yeah, and it's really come down to crunch time in college.
Crunchtown, USA.
So you can definitely find some value here coming up. And before we get into this week of college football, let's do a recap of last week.
Yeah.
Start on Saturday with the big game, Ohio State, Penn State, 20-13. Ohio State squeaks out the victory. It
Yeah.
felt like Penn
Talk-
State really the whole time. That first and goal for 3 runs and a pass to tie the game by Penn State was one of the most frustrating things I've ever watched. I didn't put out the pick on the show, but I did end up betting Penn State plus the points.
Yeah.
That what's his name? Warren,
But
Tyler Warren.
yeah.
He had the big play to get them in inside the 5 to tie the game,
Yeah.
and he doesn't touch the ball once in 4 downs. That was really frustrating to me. I don't really understand that, especially if you're going to run the ball and commit to the run 3 times in a row. You don't give it to your best player or your most dynamic player, and even in that game, your most dynamic player. That made no sense to me. It was very frustrating to watch. But then again, I mean, James Franklin has lost, 9 in a row now against Ohio State, so I guess you should have expected it.
Yeah, I think James Franklin's record against top 5 opponents is like 1-12. So, and I that's the thing is like I said it last week. I was like, I know that Ohio State absolutely owns James Franklin in Penn State.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something felt a little different this year. And I mean, given the situations, I mean, they had the ball in the end of the first half. They had the ball on goal to go. I don't know if it was goal to go.
Yeah,
But
that
they were
interception was
inside 5.
insane.
You know, an interception, unbelievable play by Ohio State. But you know,
Yeah.
you have 2 first downs in 2 separate opportunities inside the 5, and you can't even get any points out of it. So
Yeah.
I still feel good about the +3. It's one of those things where didn't work out in our favor, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, James Franklin is still calling Ohio State daddy today. So
That's the truth.
that is what it
Yeah.
is.
It was there for the taking for sure. I mean, they could have won that game easily, in my opinion, and they just didn't take
Yeah.
advantage. I mean, credit to the Ohio State defensive back who made that pick because it was a catch and then just took it away from him. So, but yeah, I mean, it's seeming like a curse now for Penn State. I mean, that's their big game every year, and they lose it every year. So
Yeah, and
tough.
yeah, they'll never get over that hump if they can't beat that and they can't win that game.
Yeah. And believe it or not, they still have a chance to sneak their way into the Big Ten championship somehow. Maybe. I mean, we'll take a lot of things, but let's move on here. Miami stays undefeated, 53-31 over Duke. Ole Miss beats Arkansas 63-31. Their offense came alive against a good Arkansas team. Army 23 over Air Force. That's been a story all year with the service academies. Wow, that slipped my line pretty quick there. Sorry. Um, Illinois loses to Minnesota at home 25-17. Vandy beats Auburn. I mean, they're seeming to be legit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just wild that they were 8-point dogs. Like I'm very upset that I didn't jump all over that. Why not?
Well, they are underdogs at home again this week.
I know I
If
did
that
see
one,
that.
if that teases you any way or the other.
So I'm
Um,
still not betting it. I don't know why, but
yeah, I'm not on it yet either, but I could be convinced. We'll see. Oregon covers against Michigan in the Big House 38-17. It was a backdoor cover for Oregon. Michigan did stay in this game kind of early, and then Oregon just proved to be too much at the end, and they scored that last few minutes touchdown to cover. We mentioned it earlier. Georgia 34-20 over Florida. They stumbled early. I think they easily could have covered this game, but Carson Beck has not looked his best. Iowa State gets their first loss at home, hosting Texas Tech. They lose 23-22. That's going to hurt them for their playoff chances. They're going to probably have to win the Big 12, in my opinion, to get in.
yeah.
Indiana, 47-10 over Michigan State, so clearly not a sleeper spot for them, although there could be one coming up this week, which we will get to. But they continue to roll. Rourke back. He plays well. Kansas State loses to Houston. They were in the top 25, and they lose to Houston on the road 24-19.
Bad loss, very bad loss.
Yeah, that's tough for them. North Carolina, Florida State, the game that I faded you in. North Carolina wins 35-11 in that one. Yeah. Well, Hey man, it's one of those trends. It's kind of like what I do with Mississippi State. You bet against Florida State, you probably have a good chance of hitting.
Yeah, and like I said it too. Like that's the grossest, most disgusting bet,
You
and
did say that.
I hated it. And right then and there, I should have been. You know what, Rich? Don't even bet it. Don't even take the other side. Just don't even put any fucking money on Florida State. Like, why? What are you doing, man? You gotta get me in check sometimes. That's why I was like,
I
that's why
mean,
I
how
was
much
like,
more in
dude,
check could I get you? I just
I
completely
was like, it's
faded
a three
everything that
thirty
you
game.
said.
It's the grossest bet of the week, and I know it was bad. Like, so when I start going on that tangent of like, I hate this bet, just tell me to not bet it.
Well, I mean, I was
I
kind of
need
hinting
you.
at it
I
by
need,
I was kind of hinting at it by just completely going against everything that you just explained to me for 5 minutes.
you
I don't
did.
know. I don't know how much better I could do, to be
I know.
honest.
I know. I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm like, it's gotta be the right side. And
That's all right. It happens.
it was never fucking close.
No, it really wasn't.
I saw the first
Yeah,
touch. I was like,
Florida State sucks.
pathetic, absolutely pathetic. And I love it. I love how Florida State
Yeah,
sucks. After last year getting snubbed of a playoff spot,
yeah.
they get their little fucking dicks kicked in a playoff game against Georgia, and then they come out this year preseason top 10, and then they're 1-8. Like,
Oh,
fuck
they're
you
terrible.
guys.
They're
You
terrible.
losers. You absolute losers.
Yeah, no, I agree. Uh, Moving on here though, A&M gets kind of bullied by South Carolina, 44-20.
Oh,
I was
smoke.
on South Carolina plus the three. It was always the right side there.
Yeah, that
I
was
don't
one of
know.
my leans.
I didn't think it would be. I mean, it kind of pulled away late. It was closer uh, toward mid third quarter and stuff like that. But South Carolina, man, they're playing real good ball.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they should have beat Bama this year. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah, I
they
agree.
pulled
That
that game out. You know,
Bama got lucky.
I'm a fan of Sellers.
Yeah, man. I mean,
He he's a good little player there, and I like what South Carolina's doing for sure.
yeah, I mean they. It was 2020 at halftime, and it was all South Carolina in the second half.
Oh yeah, all South Carolina.
And A&M was ranked number 10 too, so that's going to hurt them big time. And in actually, that's their first loss in the SEC, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
They had that early loss to ND, and then they were playing really good ball. But credit to South Carolina, they played a really good game. Moving on, another top 15 team with a loss. Clemson, 33-21 at home, loses to Louisville. Um, that was a
Yeah.
big one for them,
Yeah.
considering how good Miami's been. They're going to have to claw their way back into the ACC championship with undefeated SMU as well. So that's a big loss for them. They're going to have to bounce back and basically win out to get themselves a berth in the ACC championship. I mean, they'll probably get the ACC championship, but they'll probably have to win out and maybe win the ACC championship to make the playoff.
Yeah, and I mean, unless SMU or um, Miami loses, like how are they getting in? You know,
Yeah,
so
that's right. Iowa destroys Wisconsin 42-10. USC, another loss. Washington 26-21. They have fallen off a cliff hard. They can't close a game. It's kind of upsetting, to be honest. And then two more ranked games here. Speaking of SMU beats Pitt 48-25. This was a play that I did have in a couple parlays, and I should have put it out on the uh, on the pod. You have an undefeated Pitt team on the road, favored by 7 points against an undefeated SMU team. Uh, it made no
They, they,
sense.
they were dogs. They were 7-point dogs.
Oh, was it dogs? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. SMU's favored. Sorry. It felt too obvious in a way,
100%.
uh, and SMU just pounced all over them and won 48-25. And SMU -7 feels easy now, but hindsight's 2020. And then Tennessee 28 over Kentucky at home, 28-18. And that pretty much wraps up college football. I would say it's a pretty solid weekend. Some
Yeah,
pretty
definitely
good
a good weekend.
games.
I was coaching baseball the weekend, so I wasn't watching a whole lot. I ended up watching a little bit of the 3:30 slate, but not a whole lot watched on the college side and the NFL side.
I watched most early games. I did go into work to bartend uh, for the later games, so they were on the TV. So I didn't see too much of the later games. I did skip over Nebraska losing again though to UCLA. They have fallen off a cliff as well.
Oh yeah, big time.
But I think that's pretty much all the significant games
Yeah, all the notable games.
for CFB. And now let's move to the NFL. Let's do our NFL recap as always. And we start on Thursday night. That was a tough one for me. In New York, Jets win 21-13. Um, incredible, incredible catch by Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. That was obviously the highlight of the game. And then at the end of the game, when the Texans had a chance to stop them and maybe go down the field and tie it, Devontae Adams gets loose and scores the game-winning touchdown. So Jets get a win, stay alive, kind of. They move to 3-6. Stroud has really been struggling compared to last year. I think his line is not really doing him well, and missing Nico Collins and obviously Stephon Diggs in this game is hurting that offense a bit. So they have some things to figure out. I think Nico's back this week, but Jets get a win.
Yep, that's where you faded me on UNC in Florida State. You faded me here, so we are 1-1, and
That's right.
you just not fade. You're not tailing me. You're just fading me. So 1-1. We'll see how we do this week when you fade my ass.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I only have two NFL picks so far. This is a tough slate for me. College, I mean, college you can pick and choose with all the games, but
Yeah.
let's move to Sunday. We start with the Patriots as always. Incredible ending, game tying, scrambling, broken play touchdown from Drake May to Ramondre Stevenson. I was on the Patriots plus the 3. I did not give that out on the show, but I did tweet it out and post it on my action. Get a push there. You were on the Titans -3, so we both pushed. Titans win it in overtime after a field goal and a pick from Drake May. I don't know. I enjoyed watching this game as a Patriots fan. I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's you see those plays from May, and it's like kind of like what other quarterbacks in the league would make that play. You know, it's like one of those things where there's a lot of promise there. I actually tuned into the game with like 45 seconds left. Like the game that we played, like when I was coaching, it finished up, and we were playing the championship game right after that. So I grabbed my phone and I hopped on YouTube TV and I loaded up that game, and it was that drive. So I was able to watch that play, which is sweet. Um, I mean, there was definitely a little bit of, luck involved, but I mean,
Oh, of course.
a lot of those guys aren't evading all that pressure, and I feel like he has a good sense of the pocket, um, and just watching, like, just being able to extend the play. That's something that we haven't seen. Like even I mean, I don't want to throw any dirt on Tom Brady's name. Like Tom Brady is the greatest of all
No,
time.
but it's a different style. You're right. It's a different
Do
style. Brady was a
do
pocket guy, and he moved so
yeah
well in the pocket. But Drake
yeah.
does Drake does a lot more with his legs in the sense of moving around a lot more.
I mean, didn't he have almost 100 rushing yards?
Yeah, he had like 90 rushing yards. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So
fun
it's
to
like,
watch, man.
and I'm excited for the future with him. I think he's young. Um, I think his potential out of the QB class is through the fucking roof, just given his arm talent and being able to move his legs and whatnot. So I'm very, very, very excited with Drake May, and we'll see what the future holds. But as of right now, fuck everyone who said I was an awful pick because I was on
What?
him. I was on him
Oh,
for the longest time.
yeah. No, yeah. I love watching him. I didn't really want him, if I'm being honest. I didn't think it was a bad pick. I mean, you
Yeah,
get a top three pick in the draft, you pick a top three quarterback. I
yeah.
mean, you could miss on a number one quarterback too. So there's
Oh,
always risk involved. I wouldn't say I hated the pick. I wouldn't say I loved the pick either, but I like watching him now, and I think he's the guy going forward. So
yeah.
he,
It's one of those things where like you're excited to watch the Patriots again.
yes, exactly. He gets me to watch. If it was Brissett in or I mean really anyone else. I mean I'm on red zone and I could pay no attention to the Pats, but I have the Pats on a separate stream and I'm watching the full game. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's a good thing. There's a long way to go with the rest of the team, but good fight. Good fight from the New England boys.
Definitely a long way to go for the whole team.
Yeah. Next game, also in the AFC East, Dolphins Bills. Bills win 30-27. This was a good game. To his first game back. Um, yeah, the Bills continue to roll. It was close. They went on a game-winning field goal by Bass, who hasn't been the best this season. And yeah, good game.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have to take the brunt of a lot of this NFL here. I didn't watch. What I watched was the second halves of the 4 o'clock games.
All
So I
right.
didn't watch
Well,
a
we
whole
can
lot
move
of
on. It was
it.
close.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a game. I'm kind of upset that I missed that game. I'm upset that I missed the Falcons Cowboys. That seems like a pretty solid game too.
Yeah,
Um,
you didn't miss much there.
no,
Same old Cowboys.
I mean, yeah, obviously, just look at the score. You'd be like, same old fucking Cowboys. But yeah, the 1 o'clock slate had some good games in there.
Yes. And next one was Ravens Broncos. I was on the over here, 45.5. That one hit. Broncos were in it for maybe half a quarter. And then it was all Ravens. Save Flowers went off in this game.
Yeah,
It was all Ravens from the second half of the first quarter on. Pretty much 41-10 was the final. Chargers beat the Browns 27-10. This was the volatility of Jameis after you saw him beat the Ravens the week prior. He threw what, 4 interceptions in this game, I think. No, three picks, 26 for 46, a touchdown and 3 picks. But that's Jameis. That's what you get from him. Chargers get another win. Herbert was good, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. And the passing game is coming alive for the Chargers, really, though. Quentin Johnson had a big touchdown. It wasn't busted coverage. Josh Palmer had a big touchdown. And Dobbins continues to be consistent and solid in the run game for them. He had 2 touchdowns as well. So yeah, they're looking good. Jim Harbaugh is definitely changing the vibe over there in
mm-hmm.
LA.
Yeah, it's good. It's good seeing the Chargers team winning a game by a good amount of points and the defense holding it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I never doubted the Chargers offense getting through the years. You know, they always had the pieces and to the puzzle, but they never able to put it together with that defense. So now that he's there and kind of stressing that, it's good to see. Definitely good to see.
Yeah, man. I mean, they've had talent for I mean, realistically, the Chargers have had great talent for 20 years. I mean, but coaching means a lot in the NFL, and an identity also means a lot in the NFL. And they have coaching, and they have an identity with that coaching now. And I think that I mean that what are they at? 6-3,
Yeah, man.
5-3. They already had their bye. They're at 5-3. I mean, they're in a tough division, but they have an identity. They play good defense. They run the ball, and the passing game's coming alive a little bit. So it's a huge change from what we saw with Brandon Staley and even years prior with the Chargers, with all the talent that they had, can make the playoffs as much as they wanted, but they just weren't built to win. And I think they're built to win now. It might take a couple of years, but they got the tools for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Next game was a surprise here for most people, I'd say. Panthers beat the Saints 23-22. Derek Carr did come back in this game. And Dennis Allen gets fired after this game. Bryce Young came back as well. His first start since, week 2 maybe? And the Panthers get a win at home against the Saints. Saints have lost 7 games in a row, and they fired Dennis Allen finally. He's like bottom 5 overall record for all-time coaches in the NFL. So a long time coming. Yeah, that's a tough one. The Saints are reeling. They just traded Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders, and they look like they're beginning to reset on the salary cap held what they've been in for 10-plus years.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, tough. I mean, yeah, I remember earlier in the year when they went 2-0, those 2 monstrous wins.
Yeah.
I don't know, it might have been Stephen A. Smith, and he does his top 5, whatever.
Oh, boy.
Contenders and the pretenders.
Old takes exposed.
And he had the Saints up there. And at the time,
Old takes exposed.
Yeah, at the time, it didn't seem like the worst play, but hindsight's 2020, and the Saints are fucking awful, absolutely horrible.
Yeah, they're clearly making changes. Next game was Bengals Raiders. Bengals obviously needed a win. They win 41-24. Joe Burrow continues to slice and dice. He is putting up numbers upon numbers. And much needed. They moved to 4-5, still behind the 8 ball here. But big win over a team that they should beat. So
yeah,
good there. Commanders beat the Giants 27-22. Commanders were up big early. Giants came back a little bit. Commanders did cover. Commanders moved to 7-2, and the Giants are the reciprocal in 2-7. 0-5 at home this year for the Giants. And I don't know. For some reason, I still believe that they can play good football. I don't know why. Kind of similar to our Jags take last year. I might be crazy, but either way, Commanders moved to 7-2, commanding lead in the NFC East. And then Cowboys-Falcons, like we talked about, Falcons win 27-21. Falcons score 7 points in every quarter, basically, except for the fourth. Scored 6 in the fourth. Cowboys play from behind. Dak does go on IR after this game. He was 18 for 24 with 133 and a touchdown. And Kirk throws for 220 plus and 3 tutties in this game. Kirk looking solid. Dak on the IR, and CeeDee Lamb also questionable going into next week. So we'll see Cooper Rush going forward for the Cowboys, and it's not looking good. They traded for Jonathan Mingo from the Carolina Panthers for a 4th-round pick. And if you compare that to some of the trades that have already gone down with Deontay Johnson, Devontae Adams, it's a crazy move in my opinion, because everybody's been saying that they need more weapons, including myself, other than CeeDee Lamb, pretty much all year. And then Dak gets hurt, goes out for 4+ weeks, and then you trade for a mid wide receiver that has basically done nothing all season. So think Jerry Jones is becoming a bit senile, in my opinion. That is a crazy move after your franchise quarterback goes out. But I don't know. What do you think?
It's kind of one of those things where Jonathan Mingo entered the league in the same year as Bryce Young, so it's like not really got like a pass happy offense, and probably wasn't getting the looks, and especially this year, Thielen drafting Leggett, having Deontay Johnson in the mix, so not a whole lot of opportunity. So I mean, I don't like the move just given what they gave up for him, but I think it could be a good fresh start for Mingo. Maybe
Yeah, I agree
and
with
like
that.
especially on the Cowboys with you got CeeDee Lamb and then 65 feet of trash and garbage and then Jalen Tolbert. So it's one of those things where like, yeah, why not? But the price you pay, it seems a little steep for sure.
Well, the price, and the timing. I mean, I don't mind the Mingo move, but why not do it? Why do it now when your quarterback is out? I mean,
Yeah.
you're bringing in Mingo to get passes thrown to him from Cooper Rush.
Yeah. I mean, maybe to, I don't know. I don't know. This maybe
It just
is
doesn't make sense to me. The timing of it doesn't make sense, especially what they gave up. If they could have got him for a sixth or seventh round, okay, whatever. You bring in
but
a weapon,
just
and
like, I think management was like, okay, Dak struggling with just CD. Imagine Cooper Rush with just CD Lamb. Then
yeah, okay,
you know,
that's a good little spin zone on it, I guess.
yeah.
But still, I mean,
I don't know
this
why
team
I'm
needs
trying. I
it.
don't know why I'm thinking positive with the Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys, but
No, I mean,
I
you make
just
a decent point. I mean, with him going down, I mean, they have to win what probably three out of their four next games to even give them a breath of life going
yeah,
forward
yeah.
with the top
With
two
that coming
teams in the
back,
NFC East. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's I mean, it makes sense in that regard,
but is that the guy to
but
an
again,
unproven
I
guy?
mean,
So
yeah.
definitely.
And I mean, you could have gone out and got Darius Slayton, could have gone out and got Mike Williams before he was traded to the Steelers.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there was a couple better options,
yeah,
and I think he should have done it earlier. But it does make sense that you're reeling now, and now all that's left is CeeDee Lamb and Cooper
yeah,
Rush because they don't have a run game.
yeah.
So yeah,
But I
I don't
mean,
know.
but a fourth round pick. I mean, the
Yeah,
NFL like
I think it's a little much. He is
it
young.
is.
He's still only 23,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
maybe that could play into it. But still, I mean, there
Yeah,
was other ways you could have gone with it, in my
for sure.
opinion. If you wanted to save your season for real, I think you could have made a better move. But either way, I mean, they're 3-5 and they have a long way to go here. So
Oh yeah.
next game, Bears Cardinals. I was totally wrong here. Cardinals win 29-9. I was on the Bears. My mistake. This team visibly gave up after the Hail Mary in Washington. Um, yeah, they had no life, they had no juice, and the Cardinals just kind of bullied them. 29-9. The Cardinals moved to the lead in the NFC West at 5-4 after beating the Rams. This this Bears team, I mean, they continue to be, I mean, dare I say, poverty.
Um, I didn't want to be the one to say it, but
I think it's the truth, though.
I don't know. I think Eberflus is kind of a trash coach. Um, I think they need a new guy in there to kind of get the wheels turning a little bit on with that team. I mean, they got the talent, like
No, they have talent everywhere on both sides of the ball.
talent everywhere, both sides of the ball. Um, an unproven quarterback, which is, I mean, that goes a long way in the NFL. But you get the right guy in there, maybe by year two or year three, that's when they can start making a move. I don't see Eberflus lasting this offseason, that's for sure.
I agree. Um, they just look dead. DJ Moore is turning into a bit of a diva. He does not like Caleb Williams, and it's pretty evident. There's been a few incidents, but all piled together to look very good. And then we move to our crown jewel: Eagles 28, Jags 23. The Jaguars
Duval.
should have never covered in this game, but we knew it from the start. I mean, what was the score at halftime? Like 21 nothing? No, 16 nothing
Yeah,
Eagles, and then they come out and they score uh first drive in the second half.
yeah. That's
They
when
were
I
up
that's when I was
20,
like, it's dead.
22 zip, and they were in the Kelly Greens, which I'll take responsibility for this because I started the combo. I didn't know they were in the Kelly Greens. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't have bet the Jaguars if I knew that. But the Jaguars make a late surge and they cover the 7.5. Um, Honestly, it was it was just a crazy cover, and that was the first like real clip that we had put out for the show too, like
Yeah,
captions and everything, legit clip. And Saquon gets bumped down by his lineman and falls on the ground and
fumble
drops the
six.
ball basically, and they call it a
Yeah.
fumble six. I mean, couldn't have gone better for us there in the second half, but they
I was
do
gonna say,
cover.
I don't think like given our play and our reaction and whatnot and how the game started and then how it couldn't have been more perfect. In my opinion,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
awesome. Just looking so bad, us texting each other like, dude, are we morons? Like, what are
Yeah,
we doing?
literally.
And then the football gods were like, nah, you guys did the right thing. Here you go.
Yeah,
Here's this gift. Jags plus 7.5, always a lock, never a doubt. Let's go.
that's right. Next game, Lions at the Packers, rainy game here. And the Lions just proved to be arguably the best team in the NFL here. Jordan Love, in my opinion, I don't really think he should have played the way that he looked at times in this game. He had that really consequential pick six late in the first half that pretty much flipped the game on its head. It was close most of the
Yep.
time until that it was 10-3 Lions until that pick six with less than a minute to go in the first half, and going in half 17-3, and then the Lions score out of the second half, and it was pretty much over from there. Uh, so bad look there. Jordan Love did not look healthy, especially with the groin in the rain on a grass field,
Yeah.
slipping and sliding all over the place. That concerned me a bit, especially with our Packers futures or my Packers futures. I mean, I know we took wins together, but I also have them to win the NFC and the Super Bowl. So I didn't like that as a future better. But the Lions continue to prove that they are arguably the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, man. I think they have established themselves the 1A of the NFC for sure. I think they're right up. I think they're right up there with the Chiefs and the Ravens of the 1A and the entire league. Um, yeah, no, they
I think they're easily the best team in the NFC.
yeah, no, yeah, 1A, yeah, for sure. Like then you got like, I mean, the Niners have struggled with injuries and stuff like that. Like they'll be in the mix. I mean, the Packers are in that 1B mix. Um, Eagles,
Yeah,
they're around there,
Eagles look good off the bye. Yep.
Yeah, but the Lions are definitely a step ahead. And Dan Campbell, I'll be honest, my man, your first year, you were saying some wild shit, and I was like, fucking goddamn, Detroit, why do you keep doing this to yourself? But then, seeing a couple highlights of him and seeing the heart that he puts into it and getting the guys to believe in it and, taking Jared Goff potentially out of a he was in such a rut, and I didn't think Jared Goff's name would ever be relevant again after being traded to Detroit. But now look at him now and look at that team. It's pretty astonishing.
Yeah, no, he has been, I mean, pretty much perfect
Yeah,
this season. He's been unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Another NFC game here in the late window was Rams Seahawks. The Rams win 26-20 in overtime. Stafford continues to thrive with his two guys back in Nakua and Cup, although Nakua did get ejected in this game in the first half for a punch. I'm going to say I saw the replay. I watched this game pretty much the whole time. I thought it was a pretty soft ejection, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And actually backtracking a bit, there was a ejection in the Lions-Packers game. Brian Branch got ejected in this
Yes.
game. And Brady was on the call with KB, and he said it was pretty soft. I agree, especially in a matchup like that in that division. And I also think Puka's ejection was soft as well.
Yeah. Oh,
But they both,
unbelievably soft.
yeah, it was it was like an open hand, like push slap. It wasn't even really a punch, in my opinion, for Puka. And I don't remember exactly what Brian Branch's play was, but it was so insignificant that I don't remember it personally.
Yeah.
So a couple tough calls there, but the Rams and the Lions do sneak away with wins, and the Rams are all the way back in it in the NFC West. Seahawks reeling a bit here. They're going to need to pull off a couple wins here to get themselves back in, especially with CMC coming back this week, which we will get to.
Yeah.
Sunday night game was absolutely terrible. One of the worst games I think I've watched all season. Personally, it was extremely boring. I even flipped over to a chimpanzee documentary in the middle of it because I couldn't stand to watch it anymore. Colts score no offensive touchdowns. 21-13 Vikings. Everybody thought Joe Flacco was the answer, and I said, no, chimpanzees are the answer. So,
Dude. What? You're watching a chimpanzee?
yeah, no, I couldn't stand to watch it. It was, I still had it on the iPad, but the game, but
What was it on? What was
it's a
it
good
on?
ass.
Oh, you're on Animal Planet?
No, it's on Max. It's good shit. It's the same guy who did Tiger King, the
What?
director.
No
It's fire.
shit.
Highly
All right.
recommend.
All right. I might have to look into it.
Yeah, I still had it on the iPad, so I was watching here and there, but
Yeah.
Colts scored defensive touchdown in the second quarter to go up, and then they just had nothing pretty much for the rest of the game. Vikings moved to 6-2 in that competitive NFC North, and then Monday night we had an absolute banger of a game with the Bucks at the Chiefs. That game goes into OT. A bit of a controversial decision by Todd Bowles after the Bucks go down in the fourth quarter. What was it? Under 20 seconds to go by the time they scored, and they kick
Yeah.
the field goal to tie. Mahomes gets the ball on the coin flip, and they go down.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen that before. A lot of people saying Todd Bowles and the Bucks should have gone for two. I think I probably agree, especially with what they've been going through and how they started the season without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. And really, I think their defense played really well, pressuring Mahomes in this game. And I don't think you can leave the game up to a coin flip. I think they should have gone for two as well.
Yeah.
But they don't, and they lose either way, 30-20 in overtime. And the Chiefs stay undefeated, and that is NFL.
That is the NFL. The Chiefs stay undefeated. Couple good games. And we move on. We move on to week motherfucking 10.
Yep, 10 in
That's
NFL, 11 in college.
yeah.
And let's dive right in. I'm going to sign into my DK Sportsbook. Okay, so let's hop right into our college football plays. I do not have any Thursday or Friday plays. Do you, my friend?
I do not. Let's go right to Saturday.
Right, Saturday it is. I'm a liar. I do have a Thursday play. I am on.
You lying motherfucker.
I am a liar. I was looking at the wrong week. I was looking at last week. I was just too excited about being 7-1. But speaking of 7, I'm on UCLA plus the 7. They're hosting Iowa on Thursday night. It's a decent trip for Iowa. UCLA is 0-3 straight up at home, but their 3 home games have been Oregon, Indiana, and Minnesota. Minnesota was a close game. I think they lost by 3 or 4. I'll take the 7 points with UCLA after 2 really good road wins against Rutgers and Nebraska. I think they keep this game close against Iowa. So I do have a Thursday play, and I will be buying UCLA to 7 because I think it's at 6 currently, 6.5. So yeah, I'll be buying them to 7 there. I like the home team, the home dog getting a touchdown.
I actually looked at this game and I lean the UCLA side. But I'm not going to play it just because I just have a thought in my head that UCLA is going to struggle immensely with Iowa's defense. But
Yeah, they could. They
that
could
that's just,
very well do
that's
that.
the one thing that's keeping me from doing it.
Yeah, I think they've kind of woken up a bit, and it's a decent trip for Iowa.
Yeah.
Not really a look ahead spot or anything. Neither team has a big opponent coming up, but I just think 7 at home on a not a oh that's a Friday night game also. Jesus, I'm all out of sorts here. Sorry about that.
Bruh.
I wrote Thursday. I don't know why I wrote Thursday. Thursday games suck. Okay, Friday night. Sorry, UCLA plus 7. Book it.
Book
All right,
it.
let's go Saturday then.
Yep.
Saturday, I think I only have one noon play for Saturday. What do you got?
I have the first time this year I am betting on the Longhorns.
Mm,
Texas minus 21.5.
yeah,
It's a
I
lot
looked
of
at that one.
points. I don't like it. I'm still betting it. Don't tell me not to bet it because I said earlier, don't. I told you earlier, don't have me bet
No,
stuff I
no,
don't.
I lean that way as well. Florida's on their like third string quarterback now. They've been through 3
Yeah,
of them at least. Maybe not third string because Lagway's a true freshman,
yeah,
and he just kind of was waiting for a spot. But Texas
yeah,
at home, 21 points against a Florida team that has played better, I think, this year. But yeah, I lean that way as well.
yeah. It's
I
just
had
the reason why I don't like it is just based on Georgia beating Texas, Georgia playing Florida at home, being 14.5 point dogs, not covering, and Texas being at home against Florida, being 7 point more favorites. Maybe
yeah, well,
Florida's getting up for more of the rivalry game, and obviously talking about the quarterback situation, which definitely plays a
yeah,
part.
and Florida also has LSU next week, so
Yeah, and Texas needs a convincing win here.
agreed.
So
Agreed. I lean
I'm
that way.
I'm backing it, and yeah, gonna roll. It's the first time I'm betting them all year. I hope it works out. Um, another noontime game. I got Rutgers plus 6. They're host.
I will join you there, my friend.
They're hosting Minnesota. Minnesota's on the second of a back to back. They had a big win last week on the road at Illinois. Rutgers is coming off a tough loss at USC. Last week they kind of got their heads beat in a little bit. But this Rutgers team, for the most part, minus a game or two, have played pretty solid this year. And I think divisional game, Minnesota's traveling to Rutgers. I think Rutgers holds their own and keeps it a close game.
Yeah.
Is that
Uh,
kind of thinking too?
yeah, I'm with you there. They're at home. They're off a bye week. Minnesota plays Penn State next week at home.
Yeah, that too.
So a bit of a look ahead. Minnesota has covered or won 4 straight and covered 5 straight. But I think Rutgers keeps this game close and definitely within the touchdown. So I will be taking them plus the 7 as well.
Love it. I absolutely love it. I love when we agree, Fuski.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not often I disagree with you, but just happened to be last week that there were some good ones. Got any
Yeah.
other nooners coming up here?
I got one more. I got Cincinnati -5 hosting West Virginia. I feel like I kind of missed the line betting it at 5. I don't know what it opened up at. I should probably know that, but I feel like it should be closer to a 3.
I can tell you right now.
But I think Cincinnati wins this game. They are probably one of my more surprising teams of the season, other than like BYU and all those other teams. But yeah, I'll take Cincy -5. West Virginia's kind of been underwhelming at this point of the year, given their kind of preseason hype.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money there. I mean, there's 4.5s out there. But yeah, it hasn't moved much. So yeah, I looked at that game too, but I don't know. I've had no luck betting on or against West Virginia this
Yeah.
year, so I laid off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I just looked. The line opened at 3. So I've
Oh, did
definitely
it open at 3?
yeah, definitely missed the honey hole there. It got
Oh
bet up
yeah,
to 5.
I'm even seeing 2.5 here on covers. My bad. I was looking at the wrong page.
Yeah. So
Duh.
fortunately, I missed the line, but I still like them. I think they win the game, and if I think they win the game, I'm willing to bet it up to a touchdown. So let's go, Cincy.
No, you got anything between the noons and 3 o'clock, 3:30s? I don't have anything until three
Yes,
o'clock.
I got a 2:30.
Let me guess.
I
UConn.
have UA. I got UAB plus
Ooh.
6.5 hosting UConn. UConn. Let me actually pull this up. They have played, I think, 5 or 6 straight home games.
Yep. 6.
Is it 6?
Yep. FAU, Buffalo,
So,
Temple, Wake, Rice, and Georgia State all in a row.
so they haven't traveled since playing at Duke on September 14th.
Correct. Now they go to UAB. Where the fuck is UAB? I don't even know. I don't even know where that is.
University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Huh. Good to know.
Yeah, it's good. That's definitely good information, But so they've played 6 straight home games. There's probably a bye week in between there at some point. Yeah, between Temple and Wake Forest. But so they haven't traveled in almost 2 months, and they're traveling to Alabama. UAB, definitely not the same team that they've been in years past, but they're coming off a big win against Tulsa, putting up 60 points. I love this spot for UAB. Give me in plus 6.5.
Nice. Yeah, UAB's not what they were a couple years ago. They put up some good fights in the recent years, but yeah, that's a good point. With I didn't realize how many home games UConn's played in a row. That's kind of crazy. 6 games in a row at home is nuts.
Absolutely insane.
I got a couple at 3:30. I got
Yeah,
two
I
at
got one.
I got
I got one at 3:30.
I got 2 at 3:30 and 1 at 7:30, and then I'm done for college unless you convince me otherwise. Basically, I did have a couple leans which I will definitely mention. I talked myself out of a couple of them, but I'll start with the ones that I like at 3:30, and I like Michigan plus the 14.5 going into Indiana. I've been betting on Indiana pretty much every week, but last week against Michigan State, and they pounced on Michigan State. But this week, Indiana keeps their playoff hopes alive. I mean, they're still undefeated. Obviously, we know that they're in that first 12-team bracket on ESPN, but they go to Ohio State next week, which is the biggest game for them in terms of not only the Big Ten but the playoff as well. And Michigan at home was a 14-point dog against Oregon last week, which is the same spread that they're getting against Indiana. And I just don't think Indiana is as good as Oregon. I think Michigan's defense keeps them in this game, and I think it's close with the look ahead spot. And I don't, the numbers don't add up to me where the 14.5 spread matches up with Oregon and Indiana. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think those two teams are the same caliber, and the look ahead spotlight makes me like it even more. So give me Michigan plus the 14.5.
Bang! Michigan plus 14.5. Come on, Fuski. I
Yep.
bet I haven't been on the Indiana train like you have been this year. I've bet against them one time this year, and I got obviously bit pretty hard. But like you said, this is a fantastic spot for Michigan to cover, if not upset Indiana. I love it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
man. I mean, I made a lot of money on Indiana this year. I love Kurt Signetti. I love what they have going on, but traveling to Columbus next week and then
Oh yeah.
getting the same. I mean, Indiana's a good atmosphere, but it's nothing like the Big House. I mean, getting the same spread as Oregon against a blue blood Michigan team is crazy to me. That's too many points, 2 touchdowns. Michigan keeps it close,
Oh
and like
yeah.
you said, maybe wins it.
Oh dude, I love this spot. I'm ecstatic that we are on the same page here.
All right, I do have another 3:30, but I want to get to a couple leans here. I was going to take Duke plus the 3 on the road at North Carolina State. Um, I faded NC State early in the year because they had a big loss and they seemed depleted, but they've come all the way back and they're now 5-4. So I talked myself off of it. Duke played Miami decent last week. I don't know. I think this Duke team is good, but I did find myself kind of hesitant to take the points on the road for some reason at NC State. What do you think there?
I mean, just a kind of first glances here. I didn't really dive too deep into this game. I like Duke plus the 3. I think
Yeah,
NC
I mean,
State.
I had it written out on the dock, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh damn, NC State's all the way back to 5-4. So I didn't
Yeah, I
realize
mean,
there was. I thought they had a below 500 record. I thought they were kind of reeling a little bit, and then I was like, I don't know, ACC matchup. So I talked myself out of it a little bit.
yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks they've had kind of a pretty solid resurgence. Beating at Cal is a good win for
Yeah,
NC State, and then home against Stanford. Stanford blows, so I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's a rivalry game. I think both teams are going to end up being pretty up for this one. But I think Duke is overall the better team, and I mean they're not traveling very far. They're from Durham to Cary. They're going
right.
25, 30 minutes. So I don't think it's that's much of an angle. So just keep given how they played this year. Give me Duke plus 3. It's a
You
lean.
lean Duke. All right. I will play Duke plus the 3 though if you agree with me there. But I think I can kind of talk you off this next lean that I had. And it is Iowa State minus the 3 at Kansas. And the only reason I got off of this game is because Kansas is playing um, their home game at Arrowhead Stadium this year. Kansas is 2-6 overall, 2-6 ATS. Ohio State just got their first loss against Texas Tech, and they should win this game handily, but they're playing at Arrowhead in Missouri. Kansas is right next door, obviously. And that scared me off. It's a neutral site technically, but playing at Arrowhead Stadium, I think Kansas might get up for this game and keep it a bit closer than it looks. What do you think?
I mean, Kansas is 2-6, but has a plus point differential in the season.
Yeah,
So it's one of those things where I think we've talked about this. They lost at Illinois by 6, they lost to UNLV by 3, West Virginia by 4, Arizona State by 4, lost at Kansas State by 2. So like they're in every game.
yeah,
They destroyed Houston, and they obviously destroyed Lindenwood week 1. And watching Iowa State last week, they couldn't really move the ball against Texas Tech. And I mean, Texas Tech is nothing really to write home about defensively. And I think Kansas can kind of keep up with Iowa State a little bit. I think it's going to be low scoring. I like the under 50, but yeah, Kansas is one of the teams I wanted to bet, but I'm kind of the last couple weeks I've been kind of slimming down my slate, trying to find plays that I really really like. So I'm gonna shy off here. I did end up placing Duke during our last conversation, so I'm on Duke plus 3.
yeah. I added that to my card as well. But if this game was at Kansas's home stadium, I would be on Iowa State plus or -3. Excuse me.
Okay.
But they're playing at Arrowhead. I would expect a big crowd to come out for them, even though they've
Yeah.
kind of sucked this season, or not sucked, but disappointed. I mean, they had a win total of 8, which I think we both bet. Um, so it's been disappointing, but an Arrowhead Stadium game for Kansas makes me a little bit nervous. As good as Iowa State's been coming off a loss, so that's why I faded off of that game. I think those are my two biggest leans. I don't think I have much more, but I do have one 3:30 actual play, and it is Georgia Ole Miss over. It was at 54.5 when I looked at it earlier today. It is now at 55. I like the over in this game. Ole Miss put up 60 plus last week. Georgia's defense has not been what they have been in the past, as we know them to be. This is an elimination game for Ole Miss. If they lose this game, they will not make the playoff. I expect this to be and Ole Miss's defense against the pass has not been very good. So I think Carson Beck has a good game. And I think Ole Miss offense does what it usually does. So I think it's going to be high scoring, and I like the over 55, 54.5, wherever you can get it at.
Yeah, that's an interesting play. I kind of lean that way as well. I want to bet Ole Miss. I love betting the home dog in like a big game like that, but I don't know. It's just like it doesn't seem right. They're coming off a big win. Georgia kind of, I wouldn't say squeaked by Florida. They won by 2 touchdowns, but the first half was ugly.
They stumbled a bit.
Ugly. Um, so it's one of those things where I think kind of Georgia kind of comes back and gets it right. I don't think it's going to be like a big win, but I think they end up winning. And but I'm not confident either way there. But the over is an interesting play. I'll keep tabs on that. I think it keeps on going up too, and the total goes up to like 56.
Yeah, like I said, it went up a half point here. These teams are combined 5 and 12 to the over, so that's not very good.
Yeah.
But you have to think about how good Ole Miss offense has been this season against some lower ranked opponents. They put up 60 points a couple times this year. They put up 70 points in a game. I don't know. I think Georgia gave up 20 to Florida to a true freshman quarterback. And I think Jackson Dart is capable of doing much more than that. And obviously, Carson Beck was a Heisman candidate coming in. And Ole Miss's defense is not, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not something to really be concerned about. So I think both teams can get over 25 apiece. And I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout, and it's going to come down to the wire. So that's why I like the over.
I like it, man. I like the thought process there for sure.
I have one more play at 7:30. It is a big game. It's an elimination game for both teams, but I do want to get your opinion on Colorado, Texas Tech. Colorado has a chance to run the table here and get into the Big 12 championship and maybe get themselves into the playoff. They're minus 3.5 on the road at Texas Tech. What do you think about this game?
Um, I didn't really look at this one too much. I think Colorado is where I'd lean. I think Texas Tech. I mean, I like Texas Tech. I don't think they're a bad football team by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. But I think this line is kind of shrunk from their big win against Iowa State on the road last week. They had no business winning that game. Colorado is playing well, kind of playing like what everyone thought they were week one last year. You know what I'm saying? Like an unstoppable team. But I don't know. I lean Colorado here. I would also say I lean the over as well. I think
62.5 current.
It's high, but I think we see some points for sure. I don't think it's a low scoring game by any means, but yeah, I don't have any plays here. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I just think, I mean, we're getting into crunch time here. That's why I'm mentioning it. I don't have a play on it. Like I said, if Colorado runs the table here, they have a chance to win the Big 12. Or I mean, get in if they get in and lose and they don't lose anymore. I mean, you never know what happens with stuff like that with a 12-team playoff now. But if they run the table, I think they're in the playoffs. So I think this means a lot more here. And Shador has been really, really good this season.
Yeah,
He's creeping his way up in the Heisman odds too. So I don't know. I thought it was worth mentioning. I don't have a play like you. I lean Colorado, but I haven't bet on or against them really at all this season. So I will lay off.
Same. Yeah, I'm laying off. I haven't bet them a whole lot. I've bet on Texas Tech a few times this year. I was actually faded them last week, which didn't work in my favor. But
was it the TCU game?
No, it was the Iowa State game. I bet Iowa State.
Oh yeah, the week before I was on Tech against TCU and they lost in the most horrific fashion. But we don't have to talk about it because I'm getting flashbacks right now. That is it until 4:00, and well, there's one other game at 4:00. You have anything between 4:00 and 7:30? I got one 7:30. That's it. There is a Vandy game at 4:15, but I don't have anything till 7:30. What you got?
I got one 7:30 and at 10:15. I have a feeling though that we are on opposite sides of the same game at 7:30. I don't know. I have a
Well,
weird
let's
feeling
hit it right now. What you got?
Is it the LSU Bama game?
Tis.
Are you on Alabama -3?
I'm on Alabama money line.
All right, I am on LSU plus 3 points.
We can both win.
We can both win for sure. So, I mean, I guess you're not technically on. I mean, you're close to being the opposite side. Just not quite exactly.
I am just not confident enough to lay points with the amount of times that Alabama has made mistakes that have shot themselves in the foot. The money line was at minus 145 this afternoon. When I checked it, it's now at minus 138.
Yeah.
So I like a short price there. My reasoning is I just haven't been too impressed with LSU this year, especially the quarterback play. And they also have Florida next week, so that's a big game for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, so my thought process on this game is LSU is coming off a bad. It wasn't. No, that was 2 weeks ago. Who the fuck did the LSU play last week? Why am I tripping?
They played Texas A&M, but that must have been they had a bye.
They had a bye. Okay.
That was October 26th.
Yeah, so they played A&M 2 weeks ago. They looked great in the first half. Second half, just absolutely shit the bed. They have a bye week. I expect them to kind of right the ship a little bit. They're playing a really good Bama team. Bama has not really been playing fantastic football outside of last
A lot of
week.
mistakes.
Last week they kind of figured things out. I mean, Missouri, I was never really too super high on to
And they
begin
didn't have
with.
their starting quarterback either.
Exactly, and Alabama took care of business, but I think everyone's like, "Oh, Bama's back." You know what I'm saying? Bama's back, and LSU had a tough game. They're off a bye week, 2 weeks to prepare for Bama. Um, I think they kind of ride the ship here. They're at home, so give me LSU plus 3 points.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't been entirely impressed with LSU this year. I still think Bama has the better defense. And
Yeah,
Bama also plays Mercer next week, so it's basically a bye week for them.
yeah,
Um, there's nothing to worry about going forward. They do have Oklahoma the week after that, but
yeah.
in pretty
So
much,
they
I
have
mean,
2 straight bye weeks, right?
what do you mean?
Oklahoma fucking blows.
Oh, well, I forgot you're a Texas fan. Uh, yeah, but I think in an elimination game here with Mercer next, and then LSU has to go. Actually, they host Florida, I think. But either way, I think Bama can be a lot more dialed in on this game than LSU can be. And actually, they are at Florida, LSU. So that's why I like Bama to win the game. I mean, I do think it will be close with the amount of mistakes Alabama's made this year in a lot of their
Yeah,
wins and losses. But I just like Bama on the short price on the money line.
yeah. That's the thing.
So,
It's like I don't disagree with you either. I think I was kind of back and forth here, but like I kind of talked myself into it, going through the both teams and kind of how they've been playing, what the scenario is, and I mean, outside of that second half to A&M, LSU has been fantastic this season because they lost. They lost week 1 to USC, and then ran the table. First half against A&M, they crushed it, and then second half, just So I think for the most part, LSU has been a very, very good football team. Bama has shown that they are very mistake prone, like you've said. So I don't know. Taking the 3 points at home, not the same Bama team as always. So we'll see how it goes, but I like LSU plus 3.
all right, well, let's hope for a Bama win by 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean if that happens, fuck yeah, it'd be great. And then
Uh,
I got a 10
yeah,
15 er.
I'm done in college football.
I kind
Is it BYU or the BYU game? Is it that game?
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I wish I was done betting, but I am on Utah plus 4. Talk me out of it, Fuski. Talk me out of it.
Talk you out of it. Utah at night. I mean, we've seen it plenty of times. Um, Kim Rising is in, correct? Do we even know? I mean,
Last I checked, it's still up in the air. But
okay. Well, that's why I don't bet Utah games because you can never count on anything. I mean, it's a road game in conference. I was going to bet by BYU. I'd buy it to 3 if I were you. I don't hate the pick, but I do get nervous about Utah at night. It's at home seems to be the environment that they thrive in. Would be my only gripe about your pick.
Cam Rising is actually out for the year.
Oh, well, I'd still buy it to 3, but I like it more.
I bet Utah.
Yeah, they're favored
Bet
by 4 currently. I'd buy it to
Utah.
3.
Utah are 4-point dogs.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, you bet Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that at all. If Cam Rising was in,
um,
I would like it more. I would like it a lot if Cam Rising was in. Like I said, Utah at night, but Cam Rising is out.
I mean, this game is going to be kind of disgusting to watch. It's going to be
Yes, I agree.
the over under is 40.5. It's going to be 16-13 final score.
Well, Utah's 9-1 straight up in the last 10 matchups. The last time that they played was 2021. BYU did win their first of 10, 26-17. So
Fuck BYU. I've been on BYU. I've been against BYU all season, and they have proved me wrong every week.
all right, well, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I mean,
this is the same thing with Florida State because
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
I have one play every week where I just absolutely hate placing and I absolutely regret placing.
who's the backup quarterback? Is it
That's
Zach Wilson's brother?
Zach Wilson's brother, yeah.
Mm.
He kind of stinks. But he's playing his older brother's fucking alma mater. Is that an angle?
If you're asking, you shouldn't bet it.
I don't know. Is that the angle, Booski?
I don't think that's an angle. I don't think it even comes close to an angle.
Man. He wants to prove Big Bro wrong.
I did say Utah at night, but I thought Cam Rising would play. He's not. So he'll probably come back for his 10th year. It's all right.
Yeah, I looked it up and it said he's probably going to come back for his 8th year next year.
Yeah, of course he is. All right. Well, that's it for college, right?
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the NFL.
Let's go to the NFL. NFL is king. All right, Thursday night, Cincy at the Ravens. T. Higgins has been officially ruled out. Ravens are -6 with a total set at 53.5. I have written down on my sheet that I lean to the over, but I'm not going to play it. The news came out about T. Higgins afterwards, so I'm going to lay off this game. I got nothing for Thursday night.
As of now, I got nothing. I lean the under 53 points. I bet the under the last time they played, and they damn near scored 100 points. So I'm going to hit the under again. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. What's the saying again? Can you remind me?
Shame on you.
Shame on you. But in this scenario, it
Well,
would be fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, double shame on me. So we could potentially find out. Since it's a standalone game, I'll probably end up betting the under 53.
I'll be betting on it, but I'm not putting on any plays in the show. I don't know how to feel about this game yet.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything here on the game.
All right, Sunday we have a Germany game, and it is disgusting. In Germany, the home team is the Carolina Panthers, +6.5, hosting the New York Giants with a total sit at 40.5. I really wanted to bet the Giants here, but a touchdown spread makes me nervous. Considering the Panthers came off a win last week, I know how bad they are, but Bryce Young did make some good fucking throws. I mean, I saw some highlights, so it makes me a bit nervous. Like I said earlier in the pod, that I do believe the Giants can play some good football. I'm not laying a touchdown.
Dude, this game sucks.
It's terrible, but I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it too. I was looking at this earlier today. I lean the Giants. For some reason, they're 2-7, but I feel like they're just not a 2-7 team. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like you feel
I agree.
You feel the same way as me. And the Panthers 2-7, they feel like an 0-9 team. So it's like one of those things where like I think the Giants. I think they should be favored by 6.5, but it's one of those things where it's like, what fucking Giants team are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the team that moves the ball well for the first half of the field and then gets to the 26-yard line and then gets 7 penalties and 6 sacks and then punts the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like it just it's nothing. It's they look great and they look bad within the
Oh,
same possession
I know.
way too
I feel
often.
the same
Like
way. I've
I
been
just
burned. Been burned by the Giants enough. I'm not touching it. And I mean, the
you
Panthers
know
are just we know
like
who the Panthers are. So
The whole Germany thing. You know, it's like I'm all set. I'm 0-2 on over across the pond games this year, and I have no interest in making that 0-3 by betting on the fucking Giants. So let's move on. Let's move on.
yeah, let's go to 1 o'clock. We start in Indianapolis. The Buffalo Bills travel to the Colts. They are laying 4 points on the road with the total set at 48. I got nothing here. Definitely lean the Bills, but I don't know. I think Flacco played as bad as he could, as good as he's been. I am scared to bet the Bills laying points on the road. I think Flacco might have a comeback game here. So scared me off. Nothing.
Yeah. I'll take the Colts plus 4 points. Um, I know like the look ahead spot in the NFL isn't anything too fucking wild compared to college and stuff like that, but um, the Bills have the Chiefs next week, and Chiefs are undefeated, and that's their kryptonite. So I guarantee you, everyone on that motherfucking roster is thinking about that game. Colts had a very, very tough and bad loss against the Vikings. I don't see. I mean, I know Joe Flacco is Joe Flacco. He's not elite. He's not dog shit. But I think this Colts team plays a lot better this week versus what they did last week against that Brian Flores Vikings defense. So 4 points total at 48. I think the Colts keep it close. So give me the Colts plus 4.
Okay, I don't hate that. We move on to an NFC South matchup. Falcons at the Saints. Falcons laying 3.5 with a total set at 46. We talked about the turmoil in New Orleans with firing the coach, trading Marshawn Lattimore. This could be very square, of course, but I'm going to buy the Falcons to 3 and lay the 3 points on the road. I think this Saints team is deflated. They have no life. They're selling. Could be the perfect spot for them to win a game, but I'll lay the 3 points with the Falcons. Have been really good this year. Kirk's been on a roll, and I think the Saints are going to lose a lot of life after the happenings last week with the Panthers. So take the Falcons -3.
I don't hate that by any means.
I mean, I have it written down. It could be the square pick, but I don't care.
It's just one of those things where they've looked pretty good the last couple weeks, but you know they're probably due for one of those stinkers. Um, but this I have zero interest in betting this game on the spread. But I am taking the over 46 points. NFC South, you take the over. I've learned that to this point this season. It's one of those things. You take the divisional matchup overs in the NFC South. If it loses, so what? Usually hits, so I'm gonna rock it.
All right. Uh, if I'm being honest here, I got no more picks. Oh no, I lied. I do have one more pick. I've been lying all podcast. Next game, Vikings at Jags. Vikings laying 4 points on the road with total set at 45. I got nothing in this game. Took the Jags last week. Don't trust them here. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably an idiot here, but I'm gonna go Jaguars plus 4. Um, they had a tough first half, but second half they moved the ball very well. I know they got lucky in covering with the defensive score, but they moved the ball quite well. Minnesota the last couple of weeks haven't really seemed to move the ball all too well. I mean, they played Detroit pretty good, but the two previous games they haven't really moved the ball a whole lot. I think Jaguar. I feel like they're building a little bit of momentum here. and they're 2-7. They've had a lot of one-score games. They've been in a lot of games, and yeah. So Packers lost by 3, Eagles lost by 5, Texans lost by 4, Browns lost by 5, Dolphins lost by 3. So they're in a lot of games. So I don't know. That's kind of my thought process here. Give me the Jags +4. They keep it close at home. Vikings haven't been the same team since their 5-0 start. So give me the Jags.
All right.
And how can you not bet
Uh,
them after this week? Like what are we doing,
uh,
Fusky?
I'll take the Vikings -4. Add it to my card. It's kind of just doing it for fun now.
All right, dude. Whatever. I don't have any. I don't have any words for you.
I'll be buying it to -3. Give me the Vikings -3. Okay, next game. Next game. Patriots at the Bears. Bears -6 at home. Total set at 38.5. I wanted to take the Patriots here, but Bears defense is pretty good. As much as I talked about them giving up earlier last week against the Vikings, Cardinals. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to bet the Patriots. I'm just going to sit back and watch.
I lean the Pats +6. Not gonna bet it. I bet on them last 2 weeks. So I'm gonna actually take this one off, sit this one out.
Yeah. Broncos at the Chiefs. Chiefs laying 7.5. That line has come down. I believe it opened at 9-ish. Total set at 42. Divisional matchup. I got nothing here, although it's a bit more intriguing with the line coming from 9 to 7.5. But I will not be touching this one.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea, man.
Which means you like the Broncos.
No, I mean I do, but I'm not gonna bet it. I do like it. It's like look at the Broncos are 3-1 on the road this season. I know it's different going into Arrowhead. Um, Definitely not the same atmosphere than the games that they've played. But the Chiefs, I think we've gone through this a few times, have potential to lose week 1 against the Ravens. Have potential to lose to the Bengals week 2. Have potential to lose to the Falcons week 3. Only beat the Chargers by 7 week 4. Very good game. Went to overtime against the Bucks last week, and the week prior on the road only beat the Raiders by 7. So, they have 2 out of their 6 wins have been by double digits or more. And is this one of those teams that they find a way to win? Do I think they win against the Broncos? Most likely, yes. Do I think the Broncos will keep it close? Yes. So the smaller this line gets, the less I like it. If I'm going to take it, I should take it now, but I'm probably going to shy away because I'm kind of a pussy. So
Yeah, it opened at 9.5. If it stayed there and I could get the Broncos at 10, I would like that, but it is moving the other way.
yeah.
So I'm going to lay off. I would like the Broncos at 10, but now it's all the way down to 7.5 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
So no thanks. Next game, Steelers at the Commanders. Commanders -3 at home with the total set at 45.5. I do have a play here. This is my last play so far. You have convinced me to add one, but I'm on the Steelers +3. And my reasoning is because I think as good as Jaden Daniels has been so far this year, I think they only have 3 turnovers on offense through 9 weeks, which is up there for NFL record. I think if anyone's going to make a mistake as a rookie, it's going to be this Steelers defense. They're going to get after him, and they may be able to force a turnover, maybe two. So I think they cover the 3 and maybe win it outright. I think it's due for the Commanders as good as they've been and as fun as they've been to watch. I think I will take 3 points with Mike Tomlin and Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, not a bad bet. I mean, the Steelers find a way to keep games close and they find a way to win. Um, I mean, I'm riding Steelers under 7.5 wins. It's probably already lost. So,
Oh, it's dead, yeah.
yeah, it's just, there's no reason to continue to bet against it by taking the Commanders. So I'm just not going to bet it and then hope the Commanders win and give me another week of life.
Yeah, I was on the Commanders last week. I bet on them a couple times this year, but I think this is going to be a really good game, honestly. And I think T.J. Watt and Highsmith and that Steelers defense gives Jaden Daniels his first average game of the year. I still think he'll play good. I mean, he's proved that he can play good against pretty much anyone. But if
Yeah,
anyone's going to do it, it's going to be T.J. Watt.
correct.
So I like the 3, getting 3 there. Next game, Niners at the Bucks. Bucks +6 at home. Home dog. Total set at 50.5. I teeter-totter on this game a little bit. Want to take the Bucks. Mike Evans close to coming back. Probably not this week, but next. Christian McCaffrey supposed to come back this week. So that's why you probably see that much of a disparity in the line. I think this line is closer to 4, 3.5, 4 if he is still out. But I got nothing here. I still think it'll be a good game. The Bucks have been a good team all year, solid team all year. We saw it against the Chiefs. Tough loss, but what do you got?
I got nothing. It's kind of one of those things where you kind of wait and see who's active, who's not. I mean, all reports have shown that McCaffrey is probably close to going, and Evans, like you've mentioned, is close but not quite close. So um, I don't like it either way. 6 points seems too small. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm out. Oh, the number seems too high though. 51 is a lot. We'll see. I like the under there, but probably not going to play it.
All right. That is the last 1 o'clock game. So let's go to 4 o'clock. We got the Titans at the Chargers. Chargers -7.5. Total set at 39. Get me as far away from this game as you can possibly get me. No
Yeah,
thanks. No way.
I'm all set with moving right on to the next one. I don't like this. I don't like this game. It's good. I don't mind. I think it's going to be a good game to watch, but I have no read, zero read.
If you force me to pick a side, I would pick the Titans +7.5.
Yeah, give me that hook, but other than that, I'm
But I
all
hate
set.
it still.
Yeah, agreed.
Next game is Eagles at the Cowboys. Eagles are -7 on the road. Obviously, we mentioned Dak is out. CeeDee Lamb is questionable. And the Eagles are rolling, so this line makes sense. Total set at 43, but I am not going to play it in a divisional matchup. Too much uncertainty for me here.
Yeah, I mean a lot of uncertainty. Um, I lean the boys plus the
AJ
7.
Brown, AJ Brown also questionable.
Yeah. I lean the boys +7. This is a lot of points in the divisional matchup. I know Dak's not playing, but is the so the way I'm thinking about it. So the line opened at -1, and since the Dak news and everything, it's now +7, right? So my thought process is the play from Dak to Cooper Rush this season from Dak 8 points. No,
Mm,
Dak hasn't played that great. I
yeah,
don't
no,
think
I
it's
see.
going to
I
be
see what you're
much of a
saying.
drop off. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think the line is an 8 point swing because of Cooper Rush compared to Dak. Maybe
Well,
2 years ago, yeah, but
wait, Cowboys are favored. It'd be 6 point
yeah,
swing if it was +1.
-1.
Cowboys were favored.
Yeah, can you check your covers thing? See what they opened up at because I'm reading right here -1.
Yeah, I'm also going to check Micah Parsons' status because he's close to coming back as well.
Yeah,
The Cowboys opened at plus two
plus
and
what?
a half.
Plus 2.5.
Plus 2.5.
Okay, so my
Yeah,
CBS
Eagles were
Sports
favored 2.5 at open.
close. Okay,
That's at MGM. That's at MGM. FanDuel. Yeah, they were. Cowboys were favored by 1 at Caesars. Favored by 1.5 at DraftKings. So it depends on the book.
damn.
But on FanDuel they opened at Eagles opened at -2.5 favorites on FanDuel. Everywhere else they were underdogs.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yes. Let me
But
check on
I
Micah
mean,
though.
like either way though, like 8 point, 5 point swing, like 5 point swing kind of makes sense. But I still like I don't think
Five
Dak
makes
did
more sense than eight. I agree with you. Yeah.
correct, but I still don't think the way Dak's been playing this.
Micah Micah limited in practice. So still up in the air if he goes as well. Yeah, I don't know. Too much, like I said, too much uncertainty for me here on both sides because I think AJ Brown is questionable to play as well.
Yeah,
I know it's divisional. I know it's a lot of points, but
yeah,
Cowboys have shown nothing. Eagles have been on a roll, but again, divisional matchup, 7 points is a lot. So
yeah.
nothing here.
Nothing initially. I'm just still trying. I'm just trying to decide whether putting money on Cooper Rush is fun or a waste of money. And
Actually, before we move on, do you think we see Trey Lance at any point?
it depends on the situation of the game, I guess, but I don't see why not try him out. Bring in a different
I agree.
facet of the offense. I haven't. I don't. I mean, I think it was quite unfortunate with how he came into the league at the injuries and stuff like that, and I don't really think he's necessarily got the most fair shot. Um, so I mean, at this point, you're 3-5. Well, why the fuck not? I mean, we know Cooper Rush isn't
Yeah,
going to win you a goddamn thing, so
yeah.
why not?
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, we got last afternoon. You have any more thoughts on that?
No, just a whole lot of thinking about the line and
A whole lot of waffling.
yeah, we'll see. I might add it.
All
I'll.
right, last game of
I'm
the
gonna add
after.
it. I'm gonna add it, but
What are
not
you
right
going to
now.
add? Cowboys?
Yeah, I'm gonna add it, but not right
Okay.
now.
All right, for the people, he's going to add it.
Yeah.
Last game of the afternoon is Jets at the Cardinals. Jets are laying a point on the road with a total set at 46. Money line wise, Jets are -118 currently, and the Cardinals are -102. I got nothing here. Cardinals have been playing good ball. Jets get a big win and obviously need to string a few together here. I think it's kind of a big game for both, so I didn't really want to play either way.
Yeah, Cardinals are on a 3-game win streak. They're playing well. Jets, obviously. I mean, they had a big win last week, but like 21 points. Stroud's been struggling. I don't know Stephon Diggs or Nico Collins. You know what I'm saying? So a game that I thought they should have won, which they did win. Them going to Arizona to a team that's on a 3-game win streak and being a point favorite kind of scares me. I don't have anything right now. I'd lean Arizona, but nothing for me.
Yeah, I would lean the same way, but I'm not confident enough. I feel like
Yeah,
not that this Arizona team has overperformed because Kyler makes them 10x what they were prior, but still,
yeah.
I think they could put out a stinker at any point, and everybody on this podcast that listens, including yourself, knows how I feel about the Jets. So,
Correct.
no thanks.
Yeah, all set.
And now we move to Sunday night, which should be good. I would hope Nico Collins is back for this game. For the Texans, it's Detroit at the Texans. They are laying 3.5 on the road with a total set at 49. Lions are obviously on a roll at 7-1. We talked a little bit about the Texans. Stroud hasn't looked like himself. Line not playing that well. Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs out. Hopefully, Nico Collins is good. He's still game time decision, but there was a notification today in practice that everything is going well. So you could expect him to be probable, in my opinion. But does that make the difference for the Texans? I'm not sure. This Lions team is just too hot for me. So that'll be something I'd decide toward game time and probably tweet out rather than play right now.
Yeah. I wish I could see the future here because if I knew Nico was playing, I'd probably take him 3.5 right now.
Yeah.
But I don't, so I'm not going to play it.
Yep.
So that's where my head's at.
And then we'll just quickly mention Dolphins Rams on Monday night. Rams are favored by 1. So another pick 'em minus 118 on the money line for the Rams, minus 102 for the Dolphins. Total set at 50. Rams are kind of kicking in a gear. Good young team, good young defensive line. Their two draft picks on the defensive line have hit Jared Verse and Braden
Yep.
Fisk. They're looking pretty good in the NFC West considering how up for grabs it is. And then obviously Dolphins get Tua back, so that should be a good game. But again, we usually wait until at least Sunday night, if not Monday night, before we pick those games because things can change quickly in the NFL.
Yeah, that they can. So yeah, I don't have any lean here. I lean the Rams
Me
just
too,
to fuck the
at home.
Dolphins, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and that is it. I think this is a good episode. We got through a lot of stuff. I mean, we're getting down to crunch time. We got through a lot of college
Yeah.
situations, a lot of things that can go down, and an interesting NFL slate, in my opinion. Not a lot that I liked. I think I had 3 total picks, and only because I faded you on one, I had 2 going in,
Yeah.
and I faded you on the other one. I'm just doing it for fun at this point, Rich.
Yeah.
Don't take it
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah. I think I ended up with 4 or 5 plays. I was placing them while we were talking too, so I'll have to go through and finalize that number. But yeah, 4 or 5 plays, 7 college plays, 8 college plays. So I deleted one and then I added Duke. So 8 college plays and 4 or 5 NFL plays.
Yes, sir. And that does it for week 10 of the NFL, week 11 of college football. We are back. We are rolling. Thanks for watching. I mean, good luck with your picks.
Yeah.
It's crunch
Good
time,
luck to
boys.
everybody. It's crunch time. We're here. We're up here at 11 o'clock talking about it, trying to give you guys some angles, and I hope y'all succeed, and I hope we succeed. That's kind of the goal here. But at the end of the day, you know, football's the best. We watch football because it's fucking awesome. We bet on football because it's fucking fun, and that's the definition of being a DGen. We have fun, and football's the best. So.
Yes, sir. Good luck, everyone. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week when we are back. Like, subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications when we put out our videos every Thursday. Go check out the Instagram. Go check out the Twitters for our plays on the primetime games when we decide last minute because that's how we are. And good luck, everyone.
Good luck, everybody. Peace.